Good morning. Today is Friday, May the 8th, and just have a couple things I want to talk about as far as updates or upcoming events. But before I do those things, I'd like to give a shout out to all the school kids at St. Matthew's School. Hope you're all doing well and doing all your homework. Also a special shout out to the 8th graders who are going to be celebrating the crossing ceremony next week. I look forward to participating in that. The two things I'd really like to talk about are the upcoming blood drive and the return to weekend masses that the Archbishop has announced. First, in regard to the blood drive will take place on Wednesday, May 20th from 12:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. here at St. Matthew. And this information is posted at the website and on our Facebook page, but sometimes when I write things up, it's a little bit confusing. I want to explain it this way. Just kind of picture that this spring blood drive is going to be like two mini blood drives. You know, the blood center is in desperate need of blood because people are in desperate need of blood. They reached out to us and asked if we would consider doing this, and the people who help us run the blood drive here were willing to help with that. But there are very strict medical considerations and safety and health considerations that have to be taken account of. And the blood center, or Versity as it's now called, is really, really good at this. This is what they do. So they have all kinds of different things for us to follow, but it's like this. We're like having two mini blood drives. There are the people who will be donating in the gathering space, and where you could come in on the gathering space doors, the east doors by the school entrance and by the parish office. You would come in there, you'd talk to whoever's going to be at the desk, and the beds and the teams would be there. But there will also be a group which will be separated so that you can't go from the gathering space down to the saints' rooms. But there'll be a different group of people who can donate down in the saints' rooms, in which case you would enter the gathering space area by the west doors and then go down the stairs or take the elevator to the saints' rooms. And there will be a separate team of blood center people there to take donations in the saints' rooms. I think the idea is to have 4 to 6 beds in each area. You can find out for sure if you go to the website and check out, or if you sign up. So I'm encouraging everybody who can give blood, especially people who have given blood in the past here at the blood drive, because we're doing this on the day that we were going to, so you should all be eligible, all other things being equal. But your blood is desperately needed. Versity and the blood center will make it go as smoothly as possible. I wish we could all hang around and eat and talk and have fun like we usually do. This will be a little bit more like what everybody else's blood drives are like all the time. Come in, give blood, have some juice and a cookie, and go home. I mean, we're really good at this, and our people are excellent, and our food is excellent. I'm really looking forward to when we can get back to that. But under these circumstances, we're going to do the best we can do, and I hope you can take part. And again, the blood drive will be Wednesday, May 20th from 12:30 to 7:30. You can go to versity.org and look up the areas and sign up for the blood drive that way. You can see other information on the website and our Facebook page, and of course Lynn Lopez's phone number is there, and you can call her with any questions. So I hope to see you on the 20th. The last thing I want to talk about is to go over the guidelines that Archbishop Listecki issued a short time ago about how we're planning at this moment to return to weekend masses beginning on Pentecost weekend, which is May 30th and 31st. There was some confusion right off the bat because of how the Archbishop's announcement was made, but it will be both Saturday and Sunday on that weekend, May 30th and May 31st, Pentecost weekend, only 3 weeks from today. So that is when we will be returning to Mass throughout the Archdiocese if nothing else changes. But I want to go over some of the highlights of the sheet that was posted at Facebook and on our website, because what happened was the Archbishop issued about 5 pages of directives and guidelines and other things. Most ordinary people don't need to know all the different things he had on there because they were very wide-ranging and had to do with priests of a certain age and all that kind of stuff. So I tried to go through and to take out the most important, most salient points and post them. Although if you want to look up what the Archbishop said, you can probably do that at our website, and you can certainly do it at archmill.org. But I want to go over some of the points that the Archbishop said, just so that you can hear it, and hopefully that will help you also further understand what you are able to read elsewhere. We're going back to Mass on those weekends, but the Archbishop has dispensed the obligation to go to Mass until July 5th. As you probably know, Catholics are expected to go to Mass on the weekend. That is an obligation. The Archbishop has relaxed that regulation until July 5th to give people time to get used to going back in life. You know, a lot of people have been indoors, maybe in their apartment building or even in just their apartment for weeks. It's going to be a little bit difficult for some people to adjust to being able to go out into the world and feeling okay about that. So until July 5th, no one has to go to Mass. The Archbishop is encouraging that people who are 60 years or older or have any kind of underlying health condition would not come back to Mass. It doesn't mean he doesn't want you to, really, or wouldn't let you or anything like that. He's advising that you not. Of course, you can use your own judgment, but please do use your own good judgment. If you don't feel well, if you're a little bit scared, if you're really not quite ready to be around people, that's fine. That's okay. There will be time to do this. Or I'm not going to be checking IDs at the door to see who's old enough or not old enough. But know that the bishop understands your concern and would like people to first and foremost be healthy and safe. So if you're 60 or over, please consider taking a little bit more time off. Attendance inside the church is going to be limited to, by my estimate, roughly 200 people. Now, when we'll have every other pew marked off. I've got some ideas, haven't thought it through all the way. I mean, I've got some different conceptions. I will be publishing or making videos to let you know what the final plan is. But the Archbishop, in a conference call to priests, also made it clear that parishes that have gathering spaces or narthexes or overflow areas that can be used for liturgy are permitted to use them, and this does not count against the 200 people who at St. Matthew's would be in the church. So what I'm envisioning at this point is that we will have the seating for the 200 people who can enter the church and pray there, but we'll also have some kind of chairs in the gathering space for people who might not quite be ready to go back into the church. Maybe it just seems a little bit overwhelming, maybe it seems a little bit too confining. Maybe someone wants to be close to the door, or they're a little bit weak, they haven't been out, they don't want to walk all the way into the church, they just prefer to maybe get in the gathering space and sit there. Unfortunately, at this time, we don't have the capacity to show video in the gathering space, but you will be able to hear Mass. And again, I'm not encouraging this is the best way, but just to let you know that we're trying to think of some creative ways to do this, and we're also trying to take advantage of the fact that we are lucky enough to have an overflow area and to do some different things. We're not just limited to what we can do in the church. We can use our minds, look at the situation, and then as the weeks unfold, we can also make adjustments depending on who comes. As you've undoubtedly heard, the social distancing will continue. People are encouraged to wear face masks. We will have face masks available. Some parishioners have taken part with different ministries and have made face masks that we'll have there if you don't have any. So if you would like to come, and we'll have face masks available for you. We did have to go through all the pews and take out all the paper, all the hymnals, all those little spongy things that go under the hymnals to keep them from sliding around or banging when you put them in the racks. We're really doing all the things that the Archbishop said to keep the place as clean as possible. And we've learned over time, because we've had the church open for private prayer, how to keep track of where people are, how to clean. Cleaning, the protocols for that are very well spelled out. We will have a team of people to do that after every Mass. We are keeping the church and the premises very, very clean. So of all the places you could be, we are on top of that. So if you're thinking of coming back to Mass and you meet all those other conditions, please know that we are doing our best that this will be a safe opportunity for everybody. You may have heard that communion will only be distributed by the host. We will not be sharing the cup. That's a safety consideration. The Archbishop has also said that he only wants priests and deacons distributing communion, which means that communion might take a little bit longer depending on if we have a deacon present, and we'll make that work. One thing that I just want to let you know, because I'm thinking about it, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is when it comes to the distribution of communion, my expectation that everybody is going to remain in the pews where they are sitting. And then what I or the deacon will do is that we will go down that empty pew that's between where everybody is. And we will go down the pew and extend communion to the people who are right there, and then we'll go around and come back this way. So that basically communion will come to you rather than you have to get up and come to communion. There's nothing wrong with doing that procession, that communion procession, but it does become a little bit more complicated because people need to move, and then they've got to keep 6 feet away from the person in front of them. And people sometimes, they're thinking about this and they're trying to keep their distance. We don't want people falling or, just getting confused with things, because there's just a lot to think about now, and the simpler that we can celebrate Mass, the better. And there'll probably be some minor things that we do that will help to simplify Mass, but we won't make it real long. There are certain things like Children's Liturgy of the Word and RCIA that we cannot do. Mass will pretty well move along. We won't be rushing, but we're not going to do anything to make it extra long either. So just to kind of recap that, on May 30th and 31st, 3 weekends from this coming one, both on Saturday night and on Sunday morning, we are expecting to have Mass here at St. Matthew and at St. Mary by the Lake. As of this moment, I am going to try, and I expect that we're going to do, the Mass schedule as it currently is, which is a 4 p.m. Mass at St. Matthew with a 5:30 Mass at St. Mary by the Lake, and then on Sunday an 8:30 Mass at St. Mary by the Lake, followed by a 10 a.m. Mass at St. Matthew. Given that we may find that because of different considerations and the drive between parishes, a Mass might start 10 or 15 minutes late, and we'll all see how that goes. We are all going to be learning how to do this together. By the time we do this, we will have the best plan that we've been able to come up with, and where it's not the best plan in actuality, we will adjust the plan so that we can make it a good experience while we are operating under these strange circumstances. So, blessings to everybody. I do really look forward to seeing you in 3 weeks, or elsewhere around the parish, or at private prayer, or at the blood drive, whatever you can do. These days, I hope, are ending, and when we get back to normal, it will be a great thing. So, have a great weekend.